Thank you very much. And we're now going to start the formal part of this program. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Rwanda, President Paul Kagame, Chairman of Volkswagen Sub-Saharan Africa, Thomas Schaefer, Chairperson of CFAO and other representatives present, Mr. Zara Khan, Honorable Ministers, Honorable Mayor of the City of Kigali, CEO of Rwanda Development Board, members of the Diplomatic Corps who are present here with us this morning, captains of industry present, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the launch of the Volkswagen Rwanda Mobile Solutions. The launch of the Volkswagen Integrated Mobility Solutions in Kigali. This is a fruition of a conversation that began 2 years ago with Rwanda Development Board and Volkswagen Group South Africa when an MOU was signed. And it is good to see that after 2 years, we are here today in a very significant, we're here for a very significant reason at the launch of this particular facility. As you know, the Volkswagen Group is, with its 12 brands, is the biggest automotive company in the world. It has sold over 10 million vehicles in 2017 alone and has 120 production locations worldwide. Today's launch of Volkswagen Integrated Mobility Concept is a major step forward in charge of mobility solutions in this country. Very exciting things planned ahead. And with that, I would like to call forward the CEO of Volkswagen Integrated Mobility Solutions in Rwanda, Michaela Ruzgwizangoga, to just shed more light on why we're here today launching this particular facility. Michaela, welcome.
Thank you, Diane. Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, honorable ministers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed, good morning. It is a great honor to welcome you at this launch event. In 1929, the first color television demonstration was performed by Bell Laboratories in New York. In 1954, the first atomic power station was opened in Obninsk, Russia. In 1967, the world's first ATM was installed in Enfield, London. And today, the 27th of June 2018, a world first as Volkswagen launched its unique integrated mobility solutions here at the heart of Kigali in Rwanda. Thomas Schaefer, our chairman, will go into some details about the 4 legs of these projects. My task this morning is to briefly introduce you to the mobility aspect and the Move app. The Move app was developed right here by Alsomity Lab, a Rwandan startup, and earlier this year, Alsomity Lab participated in an open tender and competed with international companies and won. Rwanda has skills, it has talent, and I would like to ask them to stand for recognition. The Alsomity team, if you could please stand up. Yeah, it's okay. They're all 21, 22, or below. Yeah. The Move, as we announced in January, the first service to be offered is a corporate car sharing, a service dedicated to institutions, corporates, and NGOs. We will start with 40 vehicles and look to ramp up to 140 vehicles. This will be followed by ride-hailing and an initial fleet of 150 vehicles. And then in 2019, we'll have public car sharing with vehicles available in station, which can be self-driven. This will be followed by a shuttle service and lastly by a peer-to-peer car sharing service. While we would like to have launched all our mobility services today and show you how each service operates, we felt it would be more prudent to adopt a phased approach. The Volkswagen Move app is available to download for free, both on the Android store and the App Store. To access our first services, companies sign up with Volkswagen Mobility Solution Rwanda. They determine the type of the car they want, as well as the quantity of the cars, and we take care of the maintenance of the cars. The employees that are entitled to use the service can download the app and order the vehicle they need for a specific date and time. You might ask, why corporate car sharing? What are the advantages? You have a smart IT solution to manage your vehicle fleet and optimize your employee mobility. It reduces the administrative backlog. It produces accurate tracking and optimization of your costs. And it's quality, it's convenient, and it's efficient all at once for this product. So I would like to show you quickly how the app looks like here on an Android phone. When you load in, you have your welcome page with the Move Share welcoming page. Right after, the app will allow you to determine your position, your localization, and you could as well choose the type of car you want, whether it's a Polo, a Passat, or a sedan, an SUV, sorry, and then you choose the number of hours that you would like to have, 1 hour pack, 2 hours, 3 hours, and so on. It's a clear and very simple app to use, and it's set on to change the world of mobility in Rwanda. A journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step, and we are more than happy to begin this journey with you. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Michaela. Very exciting things in store in terms of mobility in Rwanda, especially using this particular app. I would like to now call our next speaker, and please help me in giving him a warm welcome. This is the CFAO chairman. Please, let's welcome Mr. Zara Khan to give his remarks.
Your Excellency, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the CFAO Group, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all today on the opening of the VW Mobility and to celebrate the launch of our new Volkswagen dealership in Rwanda, which is an expansion of our partnership with Volkswagen. CFAO is the parent company of CFAO Motors Rwanda, which will assemble, distribute, and back up the Volkswagen product in Rwanda. The CFAO Group has invested on the African continent for more than 165 years, and we're very proud to be part of the history of this great continent. With our presence in 50 out of the 52 countries, including everyone in East Africa. Africa represents more than 80% of our revenues, and we have more than 15,000 employees working on this continent. Our scope of operations and projects cover 3 main areas of business: the automotive, healthcare, and consumer goods. And our strategy is to be innovative and develop new products and services to meet the expectations of fast emerging African middle-class markets. With these objectives in mind, we have formed a strategic partnership with Volkswagen, focusing on bringing affordable mobility to Africa. Our new venture of integrated mobility solutions in Rwanda, which Thomas Schaefer will be talking about shortly, is promising and is exciting, challenging new venture, and it's the first of its kind to be implemented in Africa, and I'm very proud of that, being an African of East African origin from Kenya, Your Excellency. This goes to underscore, indeed, that VW are the leaders in mobility solutions by adapting and providing affordable transportation in the African emerging markets. With a range of the Volkswagen products that CFAO Motors Rwanda will be assembling locally in both passenger and light commercial vehicle segments, coupled with the renowned German automotive engineering, we are confident that Volkswagen will become one of the leading brands in Rwanda, like they have made an immense mark in South Africa and other markets around the world. On behalf of CFAO, I'm especially delighted to launch this partnership here in Rwanda, mainly because Rwanda is a dynamic economy with extremely good potential, and of course, Your Excellency, very stable politically. With assurance of full support from Volkswagen and the CFAO teams, I'm convinced that CFAO Motors Rwanda will offer the best products and after-sales services to the Rwandese customers. I'm also convinced that the team at CFAO Motors Rwanda will work tirelessly not only to meet the expectations of our customers in the new emerging middle class, but also give them solutions and customer delight. In conclusion, I would like to express my great appreciation to the key players in the Rwandese government, the Rwandese Development Board, single out Claire, Madame, Thomas Schaefer on the Volkswagen front, and the various teams of both Volkswagen South Africa and the CFAO teams here in Rwanda and in Nairobi. Last but not least, CFAO, I would like to also wish all our customers very, very happy motoring with a brand new brand in this market, which I'm sure you will all be delighted. Ladies and gentlemen, I would really like to once again take this opportunity to thank all the guests, distinguished guests who are here, and let's make an automotive history from today in Rwanda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Khan. I'm sure the question many people are thinking of is, when does production start and how much do these cars cost? Very exciting times ahead. And with that, I'd like to call for the chairman of Sub-Saharan Africa region, Volkswagen, Mr. Thomas Schaefer, to come and share his remarks.
Your Excellency, Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Chairperson of the African Union, Honorable Ministers, Ambassadors, Madam Mayor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol observed. Welcome to the launch of Volkswagen in Rwanda. Today cements another pillar into the ground of Volkswagen's Sub-Saharan Africa strategy. Our goal is to play a leading role in the emerging automotive industry in Africa as we pursue a rapid and flexible expansion strategy over the coming years. Distinguished guests, let me state that this has only been possible with the involvement and support of the RDB and other key stakeholders at the Rwandan government, who right from the outset at our very first meeting at your embassy in Pretoria saw the potential of what Volkswagen was proposing. It has been a pleasure for me and the team to interact with the RDB, Claire, Emmanuel, and the entire team, and I continue to be impressed by what has been achieved by President Kagame and the people of Rwanda in such a short time. Having worked with emerging markets for a large part of my career, I can categorically say that Rwanda stands out as a country where it is about what can we do to make a project work rather than listing all the obstacles as to why something would not work. I must add, that's definitely true. Under Volkswagen's Transform 2025 Plus strategy, we are strengthening our regions and focusing on new and up-and-coming markets. Alongside North and South America, as well as China, the Sub-Sahara region plays an increasingly important role. Although the African automotive market is comparatively small today, the region should develop into an automotive growth market for the future. Volkswagen is one of the pioneers in Africa. 67 years ago, Volkswagen established its first factory outside Germany, in South Africa, and now we are focusing into sub-Saharan Africa. Obviously, there are some challenges, but there are also great opportunities. At Volkswagen, we believe in Africa, and we believe that if we want to make a difference, we need to take the first steps and show that we are committed to do what we say. In sub-Saharan Africa, apart from South Africa, we have currently operations in Kenya and Nigeria. And when it comes to Rwanda, everybody's asking, why did we choose this country? Political stability, zero tolerance for corruption, dynamic economic growth, young and tech-savvy population. Rwanda is a leader in innovation and technology. There's a real need for modern mobility solutions. Kigali spearheading the smart city agenda. And most importantly, Volkswagen and Rwanda, the government of Rwanda, share a vision. In short, we believe that Rwanda has great potential. The country is young, modern, and hungry for individual mobility. With our integrated mobility solutions, we have a concept specifically tailored to the region and made in Rwanda. Comprising of local vehicle production, new vehicle business, and innovative mobility services, we intend to harness growth and create new opportunities. Rwanda can become a blueprint for other African and emerging markets worldwide. At the same time, Rwanda is a small, landlocked country which certainly punches above its weight, but it's not a natural destination for an automotive production. Hence, our integrated mobility solutions which allow for a small start with potential to grow. Perhaps some of our guests might have expected a much bigger operation, but this is how an auto industry begins and how we started in countries like China, Russia, and they have a thriving auto industry today. There are many who believe that there is no market for new cars in Africa. They are partially right. This is due to an importation of older used cars, often with little duty paid. Therefore, governments need to set the framework which reduces the country's dependency on imported used cars and allows for local assembly, which in turn means that over time, the new cars become used cars. Countries like Kenya, Nigeria, and Rwanda understand this, and therefore it becomes attractive for Volkswagen to operate more than just a retail outlet in these countries. Our automotive integrated mobility is certainly a first in Africa, if not in the world, where all the services offered by the automotive company are housed in one facility and depend on each other for success. The majority of the vehicles we assemble in Rwanda initially will be for our mobility fleet. Due to the anticipated high mileage they will do, they'll become locally assembled used cars, and so the ecosystem will feed on itself. At the same time, customers will be able to buy Polos, Passats, Tiguans, Amaroks, and Terramons that have been assembled here from our partner CFAO, who operate the retail outlet, right here behind me, as well as the assembly facility. So this building behind me houses the offices of Volkswagen Mobility Solutions on the upper floors. Then there's the retail outlet CFAO Rwanda, who are the direct interface with our customers who wish to buy or service a Volkswagen. This includes older cars operating in Rwanda requiring servicing and parts. Then there's a training facility which is designed to train employees working on the assembly line as well as in the service operation, followed by the assembly facility. The entire operation housed under one roof for the start. CFAO are our partners in Mauritius, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Kenya, Malawi, Tanzania, and Uganda. They are well known and understand the markets in Africa and are the ideal partner to drive this new venture forward with us. I know that there are many potential customers amongst our guests here today, so please feel free to talk to the staff in the showroom about your car needs. The assembly operation that you will see shortly has so far only been used for training. You'll see Passats at the various stations of the assembly line. They arrived fully built up and were disassembled and assembled here for training purposes. The first car to have been brought in full kit form and assembled here as it will be done from here onwards, was a Polo. The facility in its current form, as phase 1, has a capacity of 5,000 cars, or initially we plan on 1,000 cars per year. As demand increases and we exceed production of 5,000 vehicles, we would move to phase 2, which will increase the capacity of up to 10,000 cars. When 10,000 units are exceeded, we would move to MKD, which has a much higher level of manufacturing depth, and you will see this illustrated at the end of the factory tour. The kits come from South Africa and are shipped to Mombasa and then by road to Kigali for local assembly. The first Polo production kits for full assembly are on their way and will be assembled as soon as they arrive. To date, we have trained 34 technicians, staff, and drivers, and this will increase once we are operational. Our training facility is aligned to world-class standards and equipped with the latest technologies to ensure that we can train local employees to the same standards as in any Volkswagen training facility. We've also entered into a training collaboration with the SOS Children's Village facilitated by the GIZ, where we will offer training that allows them to develop and have skills that make them employable in various sectors of the economy when leaving the children's home. Our presence in Rwanda has been a catalyst to get other German companies interested in doing business in Rwanda. The Moving Rwanda initiative, under the auspices of the German Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation and Development, or BMZ, has excited companies like Siemens, SAP, or Inros Lachner about Rwanda. Our business plan assumes employment of up to 1,000 people in Kigali in phase 1 for mobility solutions admin, production, training, sales and services, and the drivers. Some $20 million will be spent by Volkswagen during phase 1. And I can say that Rwanda and Africa are much more than just another market for us. We see ourselves as part of the African society and want to be a good, reliable partner for people here, as at all of the Volkswagen Group 120 locations worldwide. The time has come for me to stop talking and show you what I've been speaking about, how Volkswagen, the people's car, is coming to Rwanda. As I said in our slogan, on the boarding banner, we are moving with Rwanda. I trust that you are as excited as we are about Volkswagen to come to Rwanda, our vision and our desire to make a difference. So I thank you for your attention. Murakoze. So ladies and gentlemen, I just had the pleasure and honor of leading His Excellency President Kagame through our operations here at the Prime Economic Zone. I know it now gives me great pleasure to invite His Excellency to address us and share some of his initial impressions of our facility. Your Excellency, please.
Good afternoon. You know, if it is a point of what goes around comes around, I'll start by letting you know that I guess one of the first vehicles to come to Rwanda in history, if not the first, it is a Volkswagen. I remember also when I was a kid, before my family and many other people's families were thrown out of this country. I think it was at the age of 4 or something like that. I used to see a Volkswagen called the Beetle, which used to have an engine where we are not used to have it, where the boot is supposed to be. And so that now we have Volkswagen back here in Rwanda being assembled and in the near future to be made here. So I thought it was a good story Thomas Schaefer, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure for me to join you to launch Volkswagen operations in our country. This investment was announced actually about 18 months ago, if I recollect well. I know some might have found it hard to believe that German cars, as we are used to call them, could really be built in Rwanda. Yet today, the first vehicles are rolling off the assembly line. So it's a good story. Thank you for those who have been working hard to make it possible. I wish, therefore, to congratulate Volkswagen and all the partners involved for moving this so quickly. The facility undoubtedly represents a new chapter in Rwanda's journey of economic transformation. There are also positive implications for Africa more generally. And by the way, let me tell you, this gives me additional good story to tell in a few days to come, couple of days. We have an African Union summit, which I happen to chair this time around. And so it will be a pleasure to be telling some people this good story. It's a good story for Africa. Let me highlight some of the most significant elements. First, not only can global brands assemble high-quality products in Africa, in Rwanda, they can also find customers here. The assembly plant is just one part of the investment. Equally prominent are training, sales, aftercare, and innovative mobility solutions for the African market, as we have already been told. In fact, the majority of the new jobs for our citizens are going to be created through these types of accompanying services. Africa is not merely positioning itself as a new low-cost hub to manufacture goods for export. African consumers will also be among the biggest contributors to growth in global demand in the years ahead. Going forward, I think the companies that succeed in Africa will have the kind of integrated vision of supply and demand that Volkswagen is showing. Secondly, this operation reminds us of the importance of working regionally. To our Kenyan friends, brothers and sisters, who are a key part of this international team, we welcome you and thank you. In fact, Rwanda and Kenya will be benefiting each other directly and with Volkswagen right in the middle of that mix. In turn, the technologies being pioneered in Rwanda are intended to be deployed throughout the company's operations in Africa. We are indeed delighted that a Rwandan software firm already we have been introduced to, Summit Lab. By the way, I used to think, or at least I want to believe that I know many people around, especially the useful people. But I didn't know these young people, so I'm happy to be introduced to you, or the other way around. So I think we have a lot of work ahead to do together, and I thank you for being behind this effort. So the fact that the group was selected by Volkswagen to design the application that will power the innovative ride-sharing mobility solution is indeed very welcome, and we want to encourage our young people, many more others, to be behind the kinds of innovations that will work for the many industries that will be developed here. In the medium term, the only way for us in East Africa to move up the industrial value chain from assembly to manufacturing is to build an integrated regional manufacturing base. When we shift from a logic of competition to one of cooperation, but I think better still, the best way to put it is to fuse, bring together the two. Competition and cooperation, when they are brought together, everyone gains. Success is about partnership and leveraging our strength. The third point is about the importance of anticipating future trends. The old model of individual car ownership is not sustainable, especially when those vehicles burn fossil fuels. It leads to environmental degradation and traffic gridlock. The cars produced here, or today or in the near future, are expected and will be, I guess, hybrids, and fully electric models will be introduced in the due course, so I'm told. In the future, software and technology combined with innovations in sales and the distribution strategies will allow people to have routine access to a new car without all the costs of ownership. This is very important for us, most of the cars on our roads are used. Many were made in the last century. I told you some of these Beetles. I used to see they were mainly driven by priests. I remember some of those priests from some of these different places used to be behind the wheel of these small things. This is so they pollute much more just because of their age than the latest models. Africa does not need to be a dumping ground for second-hand cars or second-hand anything. You know what has been going around also about second-hand. In the long run, you end up paying a higher price anyway. So if you can pay a high price for second-hand, why not pay high price for something new? It's a simple choice. I think we Africans, Rwandans, we deserve better, and I think this is one way of showing how we can afford it. For these and other reasons, I think that this promising partnership with Volkswagen is off to a very good start. I wish you every success in your endeavors, and thank you very much for all the work you are doing to make this happen. And for us, we are here only to serve you as well in making your efforts very productive. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. And this is the official launch of Volkswagen Rwanda, specifically plot number 10 here in the Special Economic Zone. We've come to the end of this program. I would like to kindly ask the guests here, please feel free to take a tour of this facility right now before you leave. And also for those who have to leave immediately, there are shuttles available to take you back to the Kigali Radisson Hotel. Thank you very much, and we look very much forward to the work that Volkswagen will be doing here in Rwanda. Thank you.